coming up next on In the Box Seat podcast.
Yeah, after July I'm done. I'm going for a month's holiday in Australia.
Okay, fantastic.
We're going to see this thing reef on a boat. We're going on a boat cruise for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll
Don't
ride.
get charged by a shark.
Are you joking? Don't you know us non-whites, we don't go in the water? Are you kidding? We go like this in the water. No.
In life, when we hit rock bottom and we think we can't go any lower, that's just when the rock cracks and we go further down. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, when we're in those situations and we bounce back from those situations, the progression and the growth is scary, absolutely scary, and the future just flourishes. Today, in the Box Seat viewers, you are going to be treated to the story of Andrew Fortune. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good, well. Both of you.
God, tell me both called Andrew.
I was just going to say, I'm under big pressure. I've got to deal with two Andrews today. How's that? How that's going to work? But that was a good chirp. Well done.
Yeah, no, how long did it take you to write that script in the beginning?
I thought about it because it's so true. You know, it's so true. And those people that hit the wobbles and when they come back, as you're living proof, they come back with a triple handful. Am I right?
You can.
You can, absolutely you can.
Entirely up to you.
Yeah,
Entirely up to you. You can take it as you can go lie down, or you can choose to get up. A lot of people stay down.
Yeah, sad, absolutely.
No,
sad.
a lot of people stay down. The whole thing for me is, it's when you stay down you lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've found, because I've got up a few times, that the greatest thing is like you get a new toolbox when you get up to go try something new. God is the most amazing thing. If you the power of prayers, people underestimate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to have you with us because, you're a character of the game and you're always genuine, you're always just lovely to have a laugh and a joke, and you're working so hard. You're on the aeroplane last night when we were chatting. So thanks for your time, and I know we did the little interview when you first came back, the little 10-minute interview we did, and then that caught us. What was that? Did you see that video of Andrew and I when we were babies?
Yeah, they also put the AI bloody thing to do.
Well done. I wasn't that pretty as a baby though.
And what did you say when you were a youngster? AI meant something else.
Yeah, artificial insemination.
But now we're going to do the podcast, and that's exactly what we wanted. So thanks, Andrew. Thanks for your time. The story is well documented, but yeah, you've got to hit the bottom. You've got to hit rock bottom. Generally, if whoever's having a bad time. And you were just saying, addiction's a serious problem, more serious than what people actually think.
Yeah, people don't understand that the human race, my fascination comes from the human race, that how strong we can be and yet how weak we can be. And it all comes from, for me, not just low self-esteem, as what you say to yourself that stops yourself. And that part fascinated me,
Yes.
So I picked up drugs, and I was so addicted. I just couldn't stop. The only time when I didn't use, I was thinking of using, And my mom, bless her soul, she was so scared she was going to lose me. So my brother followed me kind of everywhere. I mean, I lived in a tick house for 3 or 4 months in Worcester, and he used to pay them to look after me so I don't get hurt. That's how deep the love ran. That's how scared my mom was of losing a child before she died. And she just done it with love. And funny enough, it worked, and oh man, when I picked up, I couldn't stop. And then I started working it out that if I don't pick up the first drug, then I still got my strength. And that's how it works and that's how it works. So but I got bad. My kids were gone. Everybody was gone. And the last week when I used, I'll never forget, I started crying. I just got to the end. The last night, I just begged, like my life was finished. I thought it was my rock bottom. I know, being in recovery for 18 years, it can go lower than that.
Yeah.
I always said rock bottom has got a basement.
Yeah.
And you can choose to go in it, and it gets dark in there.
Yeah.
You know, people sell their bodies. It's people always rubber like this little screen, smoke screen over it. No. It gets bad.
Yeah.
It gets bad. I don't want to kind of say what I've... In the rooms I hear so many stories, and a person opens his mouth. You know what I love about NA? You meet somebody for the first time, and they get honest with you, man. And they tell you how bad it got for them. And for me, that's liberation, that's freedom.
Yeah.
That you can say, I've done this. Took me 5 years. I was 5 years clean, I'll never forget. And I sat down with my sponsor and he said to me, you ready for preschool? And today I understand. And I told him one of my deepest secrets that I couldn't tell anybody. And he asked me, did you only do it once? And that was like the most amazing thing. You know what I mean? That you can tell somebody your deepest secrets and they don't judge you.
Yes.
Yeah, they understand.
And that's what I love about NA.
Andrew, talking about, for me, because we all have challenges and we all have addictions, whether it's smoking, drinking, gambling, whatever it may be.
Beer.
The first thing to on the road to recovery, which is to admit it. To say that if you're going to bluff it and you're going to hide it, you're not hiding to nothing. Is that correct? You must admit it and go with it and deal with it.
I always say, does it make your life unmanageable? If it doesn't make your life unmanageable, then enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're human. We're imperfect. That is just, you came with nothing, you're leaving with nothing.
Yeah.
So enjoy your journey. There's two great things in this. It's health and time. Look after your health and you might get a little bit more time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
I want to just we can jump around a bit.
Yeah.
We have such a lovely... I asked you this the other day, but I'm going to ask you again. There's something, I know the answer, but the public might not know the answer. There's something, what is it you've got that just resonates with a horse? You're not scared, the horse is not scared. What is it, man? You've been blessed with something.
I've always told you, love. Something we all need. That's the way I go. It's funny enough, I always told you, I've got very little time for the human race, but I've got a lot of time for a horse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've been very bad with authority. I've changed it quite a bit. And because now I swallow my tongue. It's not going to get me anywhere at 58 to give my opinion. I've realized that I can't go and bark at every house I hold down. I can't, because I'll never get to the end of the road.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So every fight can't be my fight. Some fights I've got to walk past.
Yes.
And that's just how life works. You know what I mean? You can't get involved in every argument.
Yeah.
Life doesn't work like that.
But let's go back to when you gave up riding with Ashley and you went, when you were training at the Vaal. And you got rounder and rounder. But you helped all those jocks who worked for you.
Yeah.
They always say, Andrew told me. How did that work out? And then you ended up in Australia.
First of all, the training part was actually quite nice at the end, because we built a very good string, and Ashley could pick a very nice horse.
And she could train a horse.
Oh yeah. We used to discuss it, so I don't want to take anything away from her.
No,
Great
team effort.
horsewoman. She done 80% of it, where soundness, I still know very little about it. She was very good with that. She could get a horse sound, she could keep him sound. She done physio herself. So she worked on them, especially I was going to back one. Hey, the last 3 days she had to work on it, and it was just an amazing journey. Funny enough, I was 2 years clean, and I prayed that I wanted to meet a woman that in recovery they say you should be 2 years clean before you go into a relationship.
Okay.
That's like kind of one of the basic rules.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
So when I wanted to come in recovery, I tried to skip that rule and it didn't work. I kept relapsing. It took me 6 years. From that day I said, I'm going to get clean. It took me 6 years to finally surrender that I can't do that. Like I said, I had the most amazing sponsor. He said, maybe you must just look at that. Just plant a seed. And it took me 6 years to eventually I done it. I stayed out of relationships for 2 years. And I got 18 months clean. I remember praying and saying, God, give me somebody that will love me for me. Now you know what that is. Because I've got defects and outspoken. I want to be heard. I want to be... and funny enough, and then I met Ashley. And what I've realized as well, people don't like talking about races, but we're all so different. I look at the jockey room now. So there's a lot of Africans, doesn't matter if you call them blacks, and they're loud. They're right next to each other. But when they talk, they got these smiles on their faces. Yeah. And I just say, why are you people so loud? And now I look at them talk, and I've accepted that. That's the way they speak. And that's the way, you must see them, there'll be 8 in a circle, and they're all laughing. Yes. But I don't know what they're saying, and I pick up the odd word. But they're so thin when they're talking that I laugh with them. Do you know what I mean?
But then you got a good bunch of well, basically black riders now.
No, you have. And then you get to colours. We use the same word 5 times, and it's got a different meaning.
Yes.
And people think we'll say Nair, and I said, why would you use a swear word like that? In the meantime, he said, no, he's not swearing at him. He's actually saying hello to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't realize we are so. That's what I love about South Africa. So different yet so. It's just all the different races. You know what I mean? They think, no, he's being rude, or no, he's not. That's how they use the same a swear word, but you rephrase it, and it's amazing.
But I find it's just the politicians that put the spanner in the works, really, because basically on the ground, I mean, most people get on.
Yeah,
but anybody.
Yeah, but people don't understand that part. And I promise you, 10 years ago, I should say, but why are you so loud in a jockey room? Why are you talking so loud? You next to No, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it now.
Just going back to when you asked in your prayers, etc., for a lady, a companion, a wife. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ash's temperament, she's quite calm, stable, subdued, happy. Am I right? Which is a great. Sometimes if she was like you, it might not work.
Amazing. Just the most amazing way I found out. I'll never forget. At was one stage, I think we could have had maybe 3,000 rand in the bank. That's all the cash flow we had. And I said to him, these people are battling, and I want to help them. They need the 3,000. Okay. And she never questioned it. She just sent the money. And then I thought, this is an amazing woman. This is somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. You know what I mean? She never questioned it, and I love that about her. Helping others. I help that. You got to that. That's part of the journey, man. Yeah. That's part of the journey. You're meant to leave this world a better place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Leave something. I always say, I got to help these kids at the academy. I got to help so that my riding doesn't go to waste when I passed on. My knowledge about a horse doesn't die when I pass on. You know?
Firing at the moment, I mean, you're getting some support, and you've made it very clear. You don't, I say it with respect, you get good horses, bad horses, average horses. You want the medium to best horses. You want quality, not quantity.
I'm just enjoying the ride at the moment. I haven't got too much. That's why I enjoy Justin. I enjoyed coming to ride for him because he's got good horses.
Yes.
And I love the way he trains. He's very emotionally attached to his horses. Saying that people will say, the horse comes with him, it does. Okay. I've got to tell him 1 or 2 horses like Justin, you got to get on his case a little bit. He's laughing at us. You know what I mean? And that's why when they arrived, they were all a bit heavy, and they're starting to kind of find their way properly now. And I always said to him, you're going to have a better second half of the season than the first half because we had the rain early. He never galloped them before they came, so they were very unprepared. So they'll start coming now properly.
Yeah, but the Cape Town horses are generally much more big. They're much bigger than Whitby Racing.
Justin's are extreme.
Yeah.
Justin just, yeah.
But then you get the horses that come from the high field, they get bloody pull-throughs.
Yeah, and they can beat you.
Yes,
they can beat you. They can beat you. That's what we normally do. When we get a Cape horse in Johannesburg, we just strip them. You know, people say they improve. Yeah, they do improve because they lose 30 kilos.
Yeah.
But we just take their weight off. That's all it is. In Cape Town, they are normally, they look like they're 30 kilos too heavy. Yeah,
that's an interesting observation. I want to refer to Harrison and Fortune because when I say Andrew, they're both going to answer. What's also so heartwarming, especially for you and for your supporters and your followers, you know, along the way, as always in life, there's doubting Thomases. And I think you've surprised a lot of people, and they are not eating humble pie, but they're just proud of you that you've proved them wrong. Justin went on TV the other day in his interview, and he said, if you'd told me 2 years ago, whatever it was, that I would have Andrew Fortune riding for me and winning for me, I would have told you you're balmy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the recovery and the bounce back, as I said in the beginning, the bounce backs, I mean, you must be really proud of yourself. I know you don't like praise and all the rest of it, but I mean, you look back, if you look over your shoulder, you've got to be proud, man.
Now that's where it comes in about the human race. So, questioning yourself. You see, I've realized, and I could be complete, this is how I not see it, how it's my life has worked. Every time I tell myself I'm not good enough, I give up. Okay, every time I do something wrong, I criticize myself. So I've taken that out of it. So I don't criticize myself. I don't speak badly to myself. Okay, I don't do those things. Because only I'm going to save me. It's only me and me. Doesn't matter, here's the family, here's the... It's only me and me. Me with my own thoughts. And I stop me. Nobody else stops me.
Yeah.
Now at the moment, so I done the first journey where I won the championship.
That was a journey.
My intuition started very early that I heard there's a voice that tells me what's right and what's wrong. Okay, so my life went on like that and picked up drugs and couldn't put it down. Eventually begged, on my knees begged. Became champion. And through my championship, my intuition was strong again. Like, don't worry, you're okay. Just work harder than everybody else. Just turn up. And I just turned up. I battled with my weight. But somehow it always felt there was something there guiding me in the right direction. And I won the championship. Then picked up 50 kilos or 40 kilos, 35 kilos. And then the second journey was a bit... Sometimes you got to tell the world, like something doesn't go right for you. You can't stand back. If you want to achieve in life, you can't stand back. You got to say it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And that's what I kind of had to do. But shit, it was tough, eh? Oh man, because I always had Ashley with me saying, hey, it will be okay, it will be there. There was nobody there to say it's going to be okay. It was just me. And wherever I turned was me.
Yeah.
But after I went through that, and I would make mistakes eating, and I would miss a day's training, and I want to get on my own case. You say, oh, yeah, you see, you missed yesterday. But I didn't. I said, it's okay. It's okay, you ate something wrong. Just fast tomorrow, or just go train today, or just comfort zones. Have stopped a lot of things.
That challenge with the weight, I remember seeing you at the horse sales some time ago, and you know, I said to a colleague of mine, I said, lovely to see Andrew back, and I said, but he's chunky. I mean, how's he going to do this? And look at you sitting there today. You got ripped muscle. Never mind chunky.
I rode
ripped muscle.
54.5 yesterday, and I never sweated.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I remember at Clarewood, you used to run around the track. You were really sweatsuit on.
Consistency. That's what it is. It's just, I'm not saying don't take a day off. I'm not saying don't cry. I'm not saying don't feel sorry for yourself. I'm not saying don't go lie in the corner. But do it for a little while and then get up.
Yeah,
Get up and go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's so easy to say. But you literally got to go do it. You want to achieve. It's going to be tough. There's going to be fear.
Yeah.
You got to learn to walk through it. You got to learn to walk. The minute there's change, it's hard. And behind hard, willingness is God.
But getting back to what you're riding now and all the horses you're riding for Justin, I mean, you come back and you're riding 54. It would be insane not to have you and your expertise in the stable.
They obviously think so.
No, but really, I mean, okay, you don't like praise, but you're probably the best jockey out there at the moment. I always said it was.
I wouldn't go that far, Andrew.
258s and 250 and a 59. It was you and Pierre.
I wouldn't go that. Maybe with experience, yes. They said, I need to go see somebody to get my core a bit tighter. My back gives me pains most of the time. So I need to go tighten up those things. If I want to go to the next level and ride another year, I'm going to have to do it. At the moment, I haven't. So there's still quite a bit of improvement. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The timing is not quite there yet. The feel is there, but not quite. It's a couple of screws I still need to tighten up.
Yeah.
Your riding style, and having the privilege of interviewed you after races, you use the word like, I milked him or I milked her, as etc. But there's an interesting story, and I wanted to share it with about. You're thinking about so many things. When I said to you the other day, you look over your shoulder, you smuts a bit, but that's part of the Andrew Ford, it's part of the fun. But you just want to see what's happening. You don't want to overdo it because they can become sour. Is that right? You don't want to. A horse must love what he's doing. Is that right?
Yeah. For me, it's before. I love horses that's got a bit of speed. If you're going to put me on a horse that I'm going to come off the bit at the 800, you're in trouble. Do you know what I mean? I can tell you that now. I'm probably going to drop my hands 100 meters. And what horse can I use? For example, Justin's Gravery the other day at One So Easy. So for me, it's all in my hands and all momentum. Okay, so instead of me asking him, I need you to go faster, I'll just move my fingers. And they'll get the message and they'll take the momentum. So before I do anything, before they start going, I'm playing with my hands. Everything is in my hands. So, but when I'm doing it in my hands, I will never ask them to quicken. It's all I want to let them go forward without putting my foot on the accelerator. So when push comes to shove, then I'll squeeze the accelerator. Okay. And that part I'm never going to change. I've done that from a kid. Mr. Aber schooled me how to do that, and that's probably my strength.
And even the last resort is, you don't like the stick.
Well, the last resort, if I can, most of the time, when you give them, and I only backhanders, when you hit them or tell them, I want it now, they normally give it. Do you know what I mean?
And Andrew was saying in the other interview that we did, that obviously we use the word talk, they don't talk, we understand, but, the horse will tell you, I'm scared or I want to go now, and you'll say, hang on, no, too soon, wait with me, let's, and that's a lovely connection.
That horse won the Scottsville feature. Exactly that. He's like the simplest horse.
Tanango.
But he'll ask you, are you ready? And you'll tell him, no, wait a bit. And then 12 strides later, he'll say to you again, I'm ready, are you? I say, no, wait. And then when especially horses love it when you tell them no for the first 2 times.
Okay.
And then like their 3rd time, they literally lower themselves to go because they've asked you now 2 or 3 times. And especially me, instant. You don't have to niggle at him. You can actually go like that with him. Okay, you can go. And he's just instant. Yeah.
See, that's it. Now, a lot of the young jocks, especially the apprentices, they think the stick is the accelerator. And as soon as
if anyone tells you that the harder you hit them, the faster they run, I mean, it's.
I suppose we all start off a little bit like that. Listen, Mr. Aber was a good teacher. I had Mr. Aber But then our bigger jockeys were Garth, and you got a smack if you never listened. You know, it was a different ball game. It was, and they could all ride. Paddy McGibbon, Kenny Michel, and you know, proper. I don't want to
Cap
go
jocks
to
were
thing.
strong in those days.
Yeah, but it was just Mr. Aber was. When Mr. Aber spoke to me, I wouldn't say criticise me. When he corrected me, it was like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was like a privilege for me that he spoke to me.
Yeah.
So it was like, today, you try and help somebody, I'm not even going to, and the first thing they do is open their mouth. It's like, boy, what?
Yeah.
You came to me for help and I'm busy telling you,
Yes.
and you open your mouth while I'm talking. You know, you can't, when your mouth's open, your ears are closed.
Closed, correct.
You know what I mean? So, and that is a different I don't know, Mr. Aber he was a phenomenal, he rode with me for a little while at track, and you say, stay behind me till the 200, stay behind. So it became like so natural to me.
Yeah.
Because I was with him for 3 years, you know, as an apprentice.
And Mr. Aber is Bert Abercrombie, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
I want to talk about another ride because you and I are similar in some ways because, you know, we don't like hate, we don't like criticism, we don't like negativity, and there's 2 points I want to talk to you about. You know, as one is you came under a lot of criticism for the ride on Cheerio Baby, and we've discussed that so often, and you know, Cheerio Baby is obviously limited. I mean, we can see that. The form tells us that. It's there for all to see. We've watched the races, etc. She's now won her race, but, you know, Blink has helped. But you had 2 options. You know, either you go at the top of the straight or you try and sit as long as you can. But the horse, you could feel underneath you, there wasn't much petrol in the tank.
I would be careful because there's still an inquiry. I was quite excited to ride her.
Yes.
Because she looked like she had the right form.
Right.
She did. She looked like she had I know she came from a 18 back to a 14, but she was well drawn. And you know, you get rides on Mark the Cock, you're always optimistic that you might open a little door and get more. Do you know what I mean? I riding for Mark the Cock and Mary Slack, you know. And it's a little bit disappointing when I cantered down, I must be honest. I thought I'm going to get this
Ferrari feel.
Justin Snaith in cantering down, you know what I mean? Like, very cheap, but this is going to win. This is going to win by 5. And it was okay. I thought maybe in a race, and I brushed out the pens, and I had 2 in front of me. And about a half a furlong before I turned for home, I said, hello, girl. And I normally do that. I tighten my hands.
Yes. See what you got.
Yeah. Why is there no response? So came off, waited. I thought, let me bring her off early. Maybe she can just stretch, you know. Come off. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I thought, now, okay, I'm going to milk her through. I'm going to kind of not ask her. I'll just brush her and just tell her, okay. And somewhere, hopefully, she'll get some momentum.
Yes.
And then obviously another 150 went, and I thought, nah, I'm like a sitting duck. You know what I mean? If something
comes.
Yeah. And it's not that I saw it in the corner of my eye. I saw it like there because I knew there was only one horse that could beat me that had 48. It's the only horse that could run at me, you know. So
And then correct me if I'm wrong again, that last, you know, when you kept that bit, you said that last 80 or 100 or whatever it was, you know, when you got animated, you said, 1, 2, let's go. She even gave you nothing then.
Aldo puts it a long way, a right way. He said to me, Dad, she can only go 50 kilometers.
Yeah.
If you hit her, if you don't hit her, if she's got 50 kilometers, some horses can only go that's their top speed.
Correct.
And it is what it is.
Yeah. You drive a Ferrari and I drive a Hyundai Grand R10. Put us
right,
next to each other and you'll see what, you know, I'll have my foot flat on the accelerator, I'll only go 110.
Yeah, but I've always been no good at the back, so that's fine.
But you see, riding the way I do, people will come back. I won on a filly of Pete Bothas the other day. And people say, cheap, is that one well? And I'll tell you that 3/4 of a length left. They say, no, it's not possible.
Yeah.
I said, that's all it had. If something came at me, I would have given another 3/4 and then I would have been empty.
Yes.
But I leave them in that momentum because I don't have to do more than that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I don't have to go to the last gear. Yeah. You know, but although I make it look like there's 2 more gears left.
Yes.
sometimes there's not.
But there's always that story I tell people when Lester Piggott rode a horse for Mike Erie at Scottsville. He went to the front, he sat, he never moved, and he won by a neck or something like that. And I remember going in the parade ring, everybody saying, geez, what a great ride, what a great ride. And Erie said to Piggott, he said, how's it going? He said, it'll never win another race. And he was right.
What's that great saying you taught me? This horse has just won 2 races today. It's first and it's last. 2 races in the same day.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. He said, get rid of it. It'll never win another race.
Yeah.
Criticism you always going to get. That is just that. I always believe people that criticize, it's not just a reflection of their soul. Most of the time it's to what's going on for them.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I mean?
It's a reflection of what's
yes,
inside.
Yeah. It's just, that you're always going to get. I've learned now I've schooled myself not to speak bad about other people, because the journey is tough, man. The journey, you can ask them, we all got our own inner battles.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so people are always going to criticize about riding. Oh, he was crooked. 8 years? I've come back after 8 years to pull up horses. Are you in your right mind? Are you joking? I'm trying to prove that I can do it at 58.
Correct.
Trying to show my kids, and now I'm going to pull up one of Mary Slacks and Mark de Kock's horses. Hey? And sitting it up third and hitting the front at the 450.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Andrew, you do a lot of motivational speaking to youngsters and schools, and how are you enjoying that? Because you've always wanted to give back.
I love it, man. I love it. I can give you any story. I can give you an emotional story, because when I go to my dark side, to how painful it was, I can cry. And I can do, it's amazing. Somebody said to me the other day, he says, Andrew, you just cried for 2 minutes and then you back up. You know what I mean? So, I wish I knew now what I know now when I was 20.
Yeah.
I must tell you this one. I was, now this is actually, I was laughing with owners yesterday parading, and I said, it's amazing how women are. When you date them, it's like to date a girl. They make you believe that's a laugh you're going to get. But when you marry, there's never that laugh. When you date them, you think, oof, that's why you marry them. Because you think this is going to be a most beautiful laugh I'm getting. Isn't that true?
He's gone red and he's not saying nothing, he's taking the fifth. But also, let's talk about humour, man, because you always, now you get that infectious laugh, and I mean the greatest, just the other day you rode that horse for Yogus. I said to you, Yogus' horse to the next race, and you said you didn't hear what he said. What did he say? And I made a joke. I said, he said, it can't lose. You loved that, and that's what it's about, having a bit of a laugh, You can write a book, you talk about serious stuff, you talk about sad stuff, but you must be able to write a comedy story too. You've got so much fun along the way.
My sponsees, when they phone me, I've got a couple of sponsees, so they'll phone me like if they hear nothing, and I'll say, but why have you stopped laughing? Yeah. The minute, Andrew, I've got this, hey, slow down. Why are you not laughing? You've got to laugh through life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, life's going to kick you in the arse.
Correct.
You've got to take it on your chin and say, okay, wasn't the greatest day, was lessons today more than anything else, but you've got to laugh through it.
Yeah, but you've got a sense of humour second to none.
Listen to me. But last week sometime, I had to phone one or two of my people. I said, I lost my sense of humour. So immediately I go to an NA meeting, because once my sense of humour goes, my gratitude goes, everything goes. And I just went and sat in an NA meeting. I never even spoke, just listened to a couple of drug addicts, how hard life is. Okay, I feel back on my knees, better, prayed, and I felt so much better, Do
you remember the chirp just the other day? When he said it was a tight finish, he said, I was carrying the honey pot. The honey pot. He said, they're not going to get that honey pot from me. And the other great interview, which and maybe the team will be able to find it on YouTube, because it's out on YouTube. Years ago, you were interviewed at Turffontein with Anton Marcus.
Yeah, that still goes around.
Yeah, who's Anton,
Yeah, but I was 21, I think I was 21 or 22 then. I was like, I've walked I've had that, listen to me, life can get tougher. Yeah.
But tell me, did those jocks take umbrage when you took the Mickey out of
Surely
it?
not.
Who's that?
Like
Well,
with
you-
Anton, and then when you smash with the guys, but it's tongue in cheek, boys.
If I fancied one, especially Anthony, if I was writing something that I liked and I had Anthony to beat, I would be on his case the whole day. Like, I'm going to beat you in the 7th. But I'll start before the 1st, I'll never forget the one day, but like the 5th, I said, Andrew, please just leave me alone. And I'll be on your ear all the time, you know what I mean? Like,
Gamesmanship.
yeah, I would,
the
that
tactics,
was me. That was me. I would. Listen to me. If I got beat, they used to have a go as well. you know. But I would be in your ear the whole more.
How is Aldo Domeyer and your other kids and the family? And you've got a most gorgeous WhatsApp profile photo. I messaged you the other day. It's just with your whole family, your kids. Beautiful. How's everybody?
I was obviously Ashley and my daughter and Sean is in Australia, so I mean they're sacrificing.
Sure.
They were out here the other day and they want me back in Australia. So starting to question like what's important at the moment for me. Is riding that much important in South Africa? I've done this. This comeback was more. First of all, people said I couldn't do it. I wanted to show the human race that it can be done.
Yes.
And I wanted to drag my kids. My 22-year-old, he's the best. He calls me legend. He says, you're a legend, Dad. You're a legend.
And he's right.
And I always tell him, I said to him, you never give up, boy. You don't let fucking life knock you down. You stand up. Doesn't matter how hard it gets. Doesn't matter how hard you get. You get up. And he actually, and he's in gym every day. And he really, I was hoping I could drag Aldo with. I haven't yet, but I'm hoping it would. Listen, I can only be an example.
Sure.
I can. My other boy is in Russia. He's married to a Russian girl. Speaks Russian fluently. Obviously, never got it from me. but now I got very, very, very. But like in anything, they all sacrifice. Ashley sacrifices. The kids sacrifice. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It really is.
To ride in the same race with Aldo must be such a joy for both of you. I mean, it's the father and son combination, like Mike and Matthew de
Chirp
Kock.
him in the race.
Mike and Matthew de Kock.
He's normally in front of me because he's riding the better horse. But we did hit it when he was an apprentice.
Sheesh,
Okay, and it meant a lot to me. We did it in PE, me and him. And I said to him then, like, boy, I should have beaten you, Dad. I should have. And I stood there and I said, boy, this will never happen again.
Correct.
So let's just enjoy the moment. So we took a picture. And then my first meeting back, when I came back now, people wanted to take photos with me and him. And we cantered down to the start and he said, now I know what it means. He said, now that I've got my own children, I know what a privilege it is to be able to ride in a race with you.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Yeah, it's goosebump stuff. Eh?
Yeah, no, it's
goosebump stuff. July now, Hollywood Bets, Durban July time. Have you got a ride? Is there something in the pipeline? Come on, talk to us.
Justin and were very kind. They gave me a choice of one or two, and I went Akavanga.
Oh,
the one I like.
Stop.
That's mine.
I tell you, I mean, the more I preach Okavanga, the more people think I'm a mug.
No.
I think it's a big. I'm not saying it's a certainty. It's a Hollywood Bets Durban July. There's no such thing as a certainty. I love the horse. Talk to me more.
I would like Justin to put a pair of quarter cup blinkers on him. He done it with me when he won his first start at Greybull. Like I had to put him off the paint. He gets like this thing just when you, for a long and a half before he turns for home, he starts like, he's just a very immature horse still. Done it with Moosey. He dropped his bit in the 1900 and then left himself with too much to do. He done it a little bit in the Daily News with me. Like starts wanting to drop back.
Yes.
It's only immaturity. That's all it is. That he's not mentally ready like for the proper tough league yet.
Yes.
Can't
He's
you jump
wor-
Richard off 8 on 18?
Oh man, you can't believe that horse. I cantered him this morning, 14. You can't believe he's they laugh at me when I keep telling him his horse is still busy improving.
You know, some people said to me the other day, just a general conversation, it doesn't matter who they are. You know, they said, but everyone's getting excited. What did it beat? I said, never mind what it beat. Did you see how it beat it? Did you see what it did?
No.
From the back, looped them on the turn, pulled the trigger, and won like this.
Yeah.
I said, never mind what's in the race, how did it?
Ran a second and a half faster than last year's Daily News.
Say that again?
Ran a second and a half faster than last year's Daily News.
Yeah. No, he's some horse.
That's, and you say this morning you worked him.
And funny enough, the horse that ran there got beat a length in the Daily News. The horse of Van Zaal's got beat a short head. What is the horse? Gareth bought from Garth.
Yes, you're talking about some time ago.
No, last year's Daily
Last year's
News.
Daily News, and then he went
Not Flag.
Canaway won it on...
Flagman.
That's it.
Flagman.
They ran, I think it's 123 and a half. This horse ran 122.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so
No, he's still improving. He's just immature in his head. He really, that's why when Richard leaves him, he drops 5 lengths back. Because he doesn't quite know yet, like kind of what's properly going on.
Yeah.
But now, as he's got more and more, he kind of knows Grable to a degree. I thought that gave you an indication, the Daily News, that you'll win the July. I'll tell you why. You can circle them.
Yeah.
That is good enough. If you're in trouble at the 900, you can start pulling off
Get out,
and
yeah.
start getting out if you want to. Remember Robbie Freddo Dynasty?
Yeah.
He was 3/4 way back, circled them 4-5 deep, and this horse is in that league. Eh?
absolutely.
He's no
Absolutely,
doubt in that league. He is no doubt.
And then, of course, you're back to Okavanga. I mean, it's, and what's so exciting, and having a word with Nick Johnson at the races some time ago, that, whatever happens next season into the Cape, it'll be different story, mentally matured. And so this is exciting time. So I'm glad that you've got a good ride in the Hollywood Bets Durban July. And it's just a wonderful time to be in Durban. I mean, you can't get better weather than this in winter,
No,
surely.
it is. It's, listen to me. Justin has been good to me, I really have. I've worked for Justin. I was his jockey in PE at one stage when I was going for the championship. They gave me the job there, but I've got to know him a bit better. He's a good trainer. Good trainer.
there's no doubt about that.
No. Good horseman.
Yeah.
Good horseman. For me, there's people that's on the log there that's butchers. This man is a good trainer. He's a good horseman.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's a good polo player too. So you've got to know what you're doing.
He's a
when
good
you
horseman.
polo.
Andrew, the travel, I mean, because that's not easy on you. I mean, I know that you're here and your family's not with you, the majority of the family's not with you, but yesterday, jet down to Cape Town, last night, late night flight in here, working. I mean, you're enjoying it. I mean, it is what it is. You've got to do it.
Got to do it. Got to get up and go. It's funny enough. I've got a 2-week break just before I came. When Ashley and them were here.
You went to the game reserve, didn't you?
Yeah, loved it.
You didn't
loved
bump
it.
into Andrew. This guy's
Kruger.
just
Kruger.
been 6 weeks in the game
It
reserve.
was absolutely not. You can't. I've never seen wild dog. Never seen wild dog. Now you want to tell me there's no God? Never seen wild dog. I said, God, what? I've seen everything. I've seen a.
Kill, lion.
Everything in the thing, a mother with a cub eating the kill. I've seen everything, just about. I've seen a mating this time. 2 lions. Amazing. How do you see that? On my birthday, wild dogs.
And you said a pack of them.
A pack of them on my birthday.
They're pretty, yeah.
I went, no, it happened on my birthday.
Yeah.
I went, can you believe it? I've been, how many times I've never seen wild dogs? On my birthday.
Absolutely
Back,
amazing.
there must have been 20 of them. And they didn't run. They came and sat
there.
next to the thing.
That's
I
amazing.
said,
Do you camp? Would you? I know Andrew camps. He's got no shoes on. He sleeps on the grass.
are you kidding? A coloured with a few rand, gonna camp? No, we got 5-star, brother. No, wait, you've been no coloureds. When I got money, they like showing it off.
Oh no, Andrew. No, I tell you
All
what.
the non-whites are like that. Ask him. We found nice cars, and no, do me a favour.
Oh, lovely. No, she said, well, I mean, we could, as I said, time is unfortunately not on our side. And we could do a whole Netflix series, but we wanted to touch base with you and we wanted to get the time right. Just before we wrap up, though, there are a few other things just to quickly touch on. We must just let the people know. Did you see the light show the other night at Hollywood Bets Gravel. Okay, you need to either buy
watching
TV
the
or stop
stars.
going on holiday. You must have seen it. Wouldn't you ride there? Did you ride? No, you didn't see the footage.
Oh yes, a lot.
The lights,
I kind
discotheques, and the
of,
music.
yeah.
Phew, I mean, that talking to a lot of the role players, that's proper. I mean, they're talking about only Hong Kong and KZN having what we saw. So, and that's going to be a huge action at the Hollywood Bets Durban July. So there's lots of
At least
action
it's a
going
live
on.
show, not a
Listen me,
fireworks show.
what Owen has done.
Phew.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we would have been dead and buried.
Yeah.
Dead and buried. It's thank God this man loves racing,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and yeah. Otherwise, we'd have been dead and buried.
Yeah.
Racing, you'd have
All out
been.
of a job.
Yeah.
And it
We'd
was
have-
close. It was close. It was the. It was pulled out of
Yeah,
the. You know, it was,
him, Auntie Mary.
yeah.
Greg and they
is
just-
in-
yeah.
absolutely. So that's great excitement. So yeah, there's a light show. There's lots of action happening at Hollywood Bets Gravel and of course at Hollywood Bets Scottsville. There's a horse sale coming up on the 3rd of July at the KZN Yearling sale. Up here, we're just going to zoom in for us, just to let everybody know. Of course, there's two sales companies, Cape Sales and Bloodstock South Africa. This is a Bloodstock South Africa sale down at Suncoast. It's always part of the July week. And it's good fun. It's about time you take a few rand out of your pocket and buy a horse.
No, I don't want to let the moths out, eh?
Yeah.
And that's really about it. There's lots of action through the season. It's just been a wonderful season. You know, the scariest thing is that I think it's in 4 weeks or 3 weeks the Hollywood Bets Durban July, and then the Gold Cup at the end of the month. It's gone again. Time
Yeah,
just
after
goes,
July, I'm done. I'm going for a month's holiday in Australia.
Okay, fantastic.
We're going to see this thing reef on a boat. We're going on a boat cruise for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll
Don't
ride.
get charged by a shark.
Are you joking? Don't you know us non-watch? We don't go in the water. Are you kidding? We go like this in the water. No, so I'm looking forward to that. V has given me permission to be able to ride work in Australia.
Okay.
So I've applied for that, so I can keep
you
fit.
fit, yes,
Yes. I'm very grateful
What
for
does
that.
Ashley do in Australia?
She works for Karen Ma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They like with the long hair.
Yeah. That's me. Great man to spend an hour or two with.
I'm sure,
Great
yeah.
man to spend an hour or two with. A real Australian. Tough, eh? Proper. If you ever imagine Australian, you look at
Look at him.
Karen Ma. He trains a lot of winners, eh? He had 368 winners last year.
Yeah. A lot of horses. Too.
Yeah.
Andrew, your favourite form of, you've got to exercise, you've got to keep fit, it's tough, hard work for anyone to exercise, but what do you, I say you've got to lose weight, you've got to exercise, what do you prefer doing? Running, walking, skipping, or what's your form of exercise that you enjoy most?
I do interval training.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll take my heart rate up and down.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's about the only. I'll do 20 minutes, take a couple of minutes break and do another 20 minutes. So I'll walk on, everything walks on 6, 9, 10. So a minute, 6, a minute, then you go to 9, a minute, walk 6 again, 10. So
Okay.
it takes 20 minutes. So you go up to 18.
Okay.
Take a 2-minute break, have something to drink, and then do it
Go
again.
again. Okay,
And that's as much training as I do. The rest, I ride horses, and
that's
if I got to go light, I intimate first.
Okay. Now, also with the dieting, as we were saying, and I was, bumped into the great Gary Player once, and I overheard him at the National Yearling Sales, and he was standing there talking to somebody. I didn't even, I just was watching the horses, but one chap said to Gary, he said, "Sure, at 93 or 2 or whatever he is, you're looking strong and healthy. I mean, what is it? How do you keep your weight down? How do you keep all this?" He said, "Us as human beings, we just eat too much. Reduce what you eat, finished." And that's his philosophy.
Yeah, but it's not just, it's what you put in, you see.
Yes.
If you eat well, you'll be emotionally healthy, you'll be everything healthy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You drink too much beer, you end up with that.
You do drink too much
but
beer.
We've all been there. It's not that we've all been there. To some
Absolutely we
stage,
have.
I drank too much, or we've all been there.
You wouldn't say at one stage I smoked 30 cigarettes a day, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
you see, I had to keep my tank up so I could play golf.
You told me you could play golf.
He hits a long ball, this man.
You used to.
God.
It was the funniest day in my life.
Tell us about it before we wrap up.
It was Andrew, Colin Buckham, and Alan Higgins.
Was that the law?
Where did you play?
Played
Remember?
there at Royal. We laughed the whole way around.
Oh, this man
Have
could
you
hit
seen
the
this?
ball.
Do you still play golf?
No, I haven't played for ages. But
He never actually set himself up.
No,
he
we just
walked up
laughed.
like hockey
We just
and
laughed.
kicked it.
Yeah, I just slapped it. That's what it's all about. People they chase this little ball and they take it so seriously. If it's in the bush, kick it out. This man could hit a ball, but God, you had to close your eyes. He hit one in a car park at the 200-meter mark. He hit it so far.
Well, I don't know. I've known this man a long time, and you're the only one that's made him blush. So,
How did we laugh that day?
Yeah,
We
we
never
had fun,
stopped laughing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Andrew, lovely.
Thanks,
Absolutely
Abdul.
lovely.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having me.
for sharing some of your story and just being with us and making us laugh and just letting us know that things are serious, life is hard, and just try and enjoy it as much as you can and just do your best.
Yeah.
Lovely to be with you, Andrew. Lovely to have you back. Where are you
Thanks,
going
Mark.
next? I suppose we're not going to see you for another 3 months. Where's the next holiday?
No,
Mauritius.
the wife's already booked Kruger for November, I think.
I keep telling me he's out. He hasn't got 2 cents to rub
I'm
together.
out. The wife's got the cash.
Yes,
Okay.
right. That's why he never said a word. That's good for you.
Lovely, ladies and gentlemen, that's Andrew Fortune. What a laugh. As I said, we could start a Netflix series. He's got such a wonderful life story to tell. But he doesn't like the praise. We will praise him because what he's done and how he comes back is just phenomenal, and he rides like an absolute machine. That's a wrap from all of us at the In the Box Seat podcast. Punt well, be safe, be kind, and as always, we'll see you in the number 1 box.